Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a tip on how to drive for fuel economy, because nobody tells you how to do it. So I'm going to tell you right now. First of all, the cruise control, the only time you ever use the cruise control is if you're on flat and level pavement. Like if you look out the window right now, we're on flat and level pavement. There's no hills, no mountains. So I have the cruise control on. Now the second thing to know is that the slower you go, the more fuel you're going to save, down to about 57 miles an hour. If you get slower than 57, you're not going to save any fuel. You've also got another issue, is all the Freightliner trucks 2008 and newer have DPF filters. If you're not going at least 60 miles an hour, that DPF filter cannot do a rolling regeneration, and it's going to cost you 4 gallons of fuel to do a standing generation. If you do a rolling regeneration, you use about 1 gallon of fuel. If you have to stop and do a standing regeneration, it's about 4 gallons. So you want to be driving at least 60 miles an hour so the exhaust gets hot enough to be able to do the regeneration. Now, what I try and do when I trip plan is I drive or trip plan to get there as slow as I possibly can. So in other words, right now I'm going 60 miles an hour or 61. That's about as slow as I'm comfortable driving. I know I could drive a little bit slower, but I'm in a 70 mile an hour zone. I don't want to go any slower, but every mile per hour that you slow down is about 1/10 of a gallon of fuel, or about a 1/10 of a mile per gallon, which 1/10 of a mile per gallon is $1,000 a year. So what's happening is I'm paying about $3,000 extra a year for the privilege of driving 60 instead of, say, 57, but 60 is what I'm comfortable at. Now, the most important thing when you're getting fuel economy, like I say, only use the cruise control when you're on flat ground. When you're not on flat ground, you need to be driving on the pedal. Now, this is the secret to driving on the pedal. The secret is anytime you step on the gas pedal or you step on the brake pedal, either one, you're wasting fuel. What you need to do is try and get to where you're going without stepping on the gas any more than you have to, and without stepping on the brake pedal any more than you have to. Now, drivers who start out from a stop and just put the pedal to the floor and start shifting, they're wasting fuel. Most of the time, you never want to put the pedal more than 50% of the way to the floor. If you're on a hill or something, maybe put it 80% down, but when you put that pedal all the way to the floor, you're wasting fuel. Now, say that I'm coming up to a hill. CRE England has most of their trucks governed to 62, which means you're going to be wasting some fuel. If the truck is ungoverned, then what you can do is you can speed up coming to the hill. Maybe by the time you're at the bottom of the hill, gradually increase the speed to about 67. Then what you want to do is you want to get in as low a gear as you need to get up that hill without flooring the truck. So if you're flooring the truck going up a hill, you're wasting fuel. That's why you can't use the cruise control, because the cruise control is just trying to maintain the speed, and it will floor the truck all the time trying to get up the hill and waste fuel. What you want to do is downshift a little bit, grab a lower gear, so if possible, you don't want to have to floor the truck. The ultimate situation would be speed up a little bit at the bottom of the hill, crest the hill at about 55, and then coast down the back of the hill as fast as you can legally and safely coast. When you touch the brake or use the Jake brake, you're throwing fuel out the window. What you want to do is you want to have it like you're dancing with a beautiful woman. It's a waltz, never accelerate, never stop too fast, very gradually. You need slow starts, slow stops. It's like dancing. Anytime you mash the brake or mash the gas pedal, you're absolutely wasting fuel. Now, there's a few more sophisticated things you can do to save fuel. If you look right here, this truck has been set up with an airspeed indicator. As you can see right now, my airspeed's about 62, 63 miles an hour, so I have a 2 mile an hour headwind. What'll happen, if I get more of a headwind, I will slow the truck down to 50, 55 miles an hour to save fuel. If I have a tailwind, I'll speed up to whatever the legal limit is. But if I can keep this airspeed indicator below 55 miles an hour, I'm getting great fuel economy. So anyway, that's how you do it. Remember, don't floor the truck. Don't use the cruise control on the hills. Try and stay off the gas, stay on the brakes, stay off the brakes, go as slow as you possibly can. on the trip. Only drive faster if you have to drive fast to be on time.